let's get on with the body part. We have our rear section, and then now we're going to do this section here, the big kind of body bit. Now, I've come up with an idea that I know that my dad will probably give me 101 different reasons why it won't work, but that doesn't mean we can't try it. So here goes. I want to scale this up. So I want to use this diameter, which is the same as this diameter here. So I'm thinking I want to scale it up and through, if that makes sense. So I'm going to just follow these lines. I'm going to use a pen as well because in the name of art. This section here is 230mm. So what I'm thinking is I want it to be a lot kind of more barrelly, I suppose. And this flange here is where it'll weld to, edge to edge. So that will need to be took into consideration to how much extra I leave to allow for that shrink back in. So another reason why it doesn't matter that this might be a bit rough, and it's worth testing to see what this does. Maybe a bit more actually, maybe 400. That's double allowance for the... It's a tricky one, that is. I don't know whether this counts as cheating, but these things are useful. Alright, let's see if that works. So what I've done is I've added an extra 20mm here, just in case I need to wire it. And just in case that doesn't actually work and I end up having to trim a load off. Now, because I know this section is certainly going to be tucked round for that grill section, or whatever I decide to do there, I might alter it, I'm not sure yet. And also this edge is going to be very similar too. I'm going to start with the thumbnail shrinking dies to really start that tuck over off, and then I'm obviously going to bladder the middle with shape. What I'm going to try and do is leave this kind of almost, if I can, as cylindrical as possible, and bring the shape over to this point here, where that's the high point. You see? And kind of blend it back into a cylindrical shape. We'll see how that goes. It kind of could take, it might even just take its own shape. I might not like that as I do it. So we're going to go back to the high crown tool with the nylon face to apply our shape here and then back. Kind of like the fish, the fastest fish in the sky. Now, because I want that high point here, because I want it to kind of overlap as it comes to this end, I go wide and then overlap. So I need to apply shape here, so I'm going to shrink this bit extra now. So I've took off quite a lot of material here, as you can see. I did leave a lot extra on, if you remember when I did the template. So overkilling it. Definitely didn't need that much material, but better this way around. The other thing is I've took it off the back, knowing that obviously the hole is going to have, you know, but that's because we've got this slight, see how it curves in? So we're going to shrink that in so it comes round and then welds to the edge there. So that's pretty much spot on. And also the perspective of that template, it was way too long to suit the perspective of what we're going for. So this should probably end around there. For me, it's about right. Now our rough shape's pretty much there, ish, something like that. I'm going to go over to the flat top shiny face with the, I don't even know what radius, I'm sure it says it on it. Oh yeah, 9, whatever 9 means. Oh, I forgot to record. Oh well, there's the weld. Here it is, the next piece, welded on. I've changed the stance a little bit, so I've gone away from the kind of shriveled up kind of stance. Now there is a little bit of thought that's gone into this, believe it or not. I initially actually wanted a softer fin, and then I kind of, when you start looking at fish and whales and sea creatures, you notice that fish tend to have sharper fins for whatever reason, evolution and all that. And whales generally have a softer, more pointy kind of thing. So I've gone for the shark kind of, because it's a fish. I wouldn't be able to call it a fish, would I? Unless it had a kind of sharper shark, kind of fishy looking fin. If you think of all the coolest, fastest, evilest fish in the sea, and mammals of course, killer whale, they all have massive dorsal fins, and I can't help but think that I need to apply that to this. It is starting to look pretty mean, so I'm going for a big dorsal fin. Here is our cutout bit. Material's getting a little bit short on material, but I'm leaving these tabs still, as I explained before on the last video. If you haven't watched that, go watch it. It's where I make this section. Right, so the next bit I'm going to be doing is the fins. The fins here, as I was saying before, decided I'm going to have them so they actually